Hi everyone, Larry Delano here again. Coming back to grabbing attack number 10 that we just went through for a choke to the throat, an arm choke to the throat. We were looking at one way to deal with that. Let's just take a second and think about some other alternatives. Because there's several different ways you could handle this, some more sophisticated than others. But in the last one we were working on, when the guy threw his arm around your throat, we really weren't talking about whether he was pulling you back, whether he's staying on top of you, things like this, because it makes a difference on what you can do to escape or throw the person or things like that, or get out of the choke. So in our first example, number 10, where the person came in and choked you, we immediately grabbed and pulled down, trying to get space in here, and then hit the guy, try to poke the guy, do anything we can here to try to get an attack on the guy here, to keep space in this choke. But primarily get it down or get your hand in between here to keep the choke off your throat. And then number 10 worked by sliding our left foot past the guy here and pulling our head out by keeping tension off here, pulling our head out, and then fitting the arm underneath his forearm to his upper arm and setting a lock, pivoting, hitting the guy and kicking him on the ground here. That was number 10. Well, let's look at some other options here. Because you may not be able to reach the guy or hit the guy or like this, and you've only got a few seconds. If he really sinks the choking, you got a few seconds to try to do things. That's why it's essential to try to get pressure down on your hips back here, move into him, try to disrupt his balance here with this so he doesn't pull you off balance. But let's say he's on you, he grabs the choke, and he's on you. You can drop your weight, pulling down like this, and into a shoulder throw over your back here. This isn't actually one of the numbered grab attacks, but it's a shoulder throw. So as the guy grabs you here, we pull down, drop down here, getting our weight in here, and throw him over your shoulder to the ground, and then hit and kick him and punch him on the ground here. So that's another alternative. What if he's tending to pull you back? Like if he gets you here and starts to pull you back, you know, you've got this motion here trying to keep him off your neck here. You can try to step around him before he gets his other hand locked on you here. So you pull down here and you step out in here, opening up the choke. Now your leg is kind of behind his, so you throw him to the ground and hit him here. So that one would be, the guy comes and grabs the choke, starting to pull you back. So you get it down here, step around this way, throwing the guy to the ground and hitting him over here. That's another way. If he really yanks you back, as you're pulling back, he really gets you going here. As you start to do that turn, maybe you can't get all the way around to throw him where he's pulled his leg back. You can try to sneak around inside here, turning against his body. And once you turn against his body, you know, hitting him to the body, kneeing him to the crotch, pushing him away from you is another alternative to break out of that. There are some ways to look at flinging your body up. Like if I'm here and the guy goes to choke you, and I go to pull down and the guy picks you up off the ground, so your feet aren't on the ground, you can lift your feet up, throw them to the ground, hoping to throw the guy over, like the back to throw him over your shoulders. If you don't make that, you may loosen the grab enough that you can then slip out of it and then put the lock on him like we were talking about before. But if you wind up in wrestling with him, then you've got to get into more grappling techniques with trying to prevent the lock if you can't dislodge it. So the best thing is, as soon as I get you, if he's on your back, like if he grabbed you and he's right on your back and not really pulling you back like this, he grabbed you, immediately pull down, over you go, and throw the guy. Lift him with your hips in here, throw him over, right? If he goes to pull you back as you're going like this, try to step around him here and throw him over this way. If he picks you up, lift your legs and slam him to the ground, trying to pitch him over your shoulders, break the lock so you can pull your head out and set the arm bar on him. Try something. Don't just give up, because you only got a few seconds there and you've got to react. If you can get this down, like with your chin. So when he goes to wrap, if I pull my chin in here and pull his arm down, I've got a little more time. I'm still at risk, but I've got more time than if my neck's up and he's choking me in here, because that's just a few seconds and you'll be out. So those are additive things. Call this 10A here. But think about it. Look around and see what other people are doing to deal with these things. We're a striking art, so we're trying to use hitting, throwing to hitting, releasing to a lock to a hit and a kick, things like that. That's what we're trying to do with this. So give it a try, look at it, let me know. Bye-bye.